dale mamacita. I told her it's nice to meet you. Eres muy bonita.
Yo,
That joint is crazy.
Fire. What's going on? What's going on? We back. We back to blue business. I got the homie, big homie, real lit. It's always real lit.
Yup.
When we in this piece. Deja.
Yo.
What's going on? I would get you. Hold on. What's going on, fam?
I mean, nothing much really. We just been doing shows whenever we can, you know, catching shows, and we get a 12-minute set apiece. So it's a pretty good set for like a solo. So I'll get in like 4 songs. I already had put the track together.
Okay, I got you. Now, I mean, as far as performing and stuff, I went to the Maryland show with you. That was fire.
Yeah,
you and
definitely.
Cody definitely did your thing for sure. Now, I mean, how do you feel as far as recording post? I mean, we're still in COVID, so it's like, I guess you can say pre-post COVID.
Right, like
like
during
asterisks.
Yeah.
Asterisks.
We're like, I don't even know if this is like the
during.
middle or like the part right before the middle, because the way COVID is, you know, they convince people,
like, yo, hey, we need to shut shit down
right.
tomorrow.
They convince us that everything all right until it ain't all right. So
yeah, like
yeah, I mean, it's kind of like
that
a little
vaccine,
bit of,
and I still haven't grown a third arm yet.
That's
so,
what I'm
like,
saying. And then the other one got pulled because people was bleeding and I'm like,
sick.
oh my
It's
God.
Just like, yo, what? Like,
that's why I'm like, I don't even know what part of COVID we're in, but being in this zone, yeah, like it's starting to just kind of melt at this point. Like, especially like the first time around, we were just now setting up the whole long distance mixing and mastering production type of thing, because East had just got into being a producer. He was working in a studio, and then he learned from like watching them, and then he brought it home, and then he would learn from watching them, and then he would bring it home. But prior to that, he was paying for like 5-6 hour blocks, and then just going in there and forcing himself to just kick everything he had in his book, like everything at once. And he was like, yo, that cost so much money that once we learned how to put it down that way through himself, then we like completely kept everything in-house, like down to stems, down to just everything, because on my side, I already knew how to record myself. I just didn't have the best equipment.
Okay.
So then once he...
I definitely understand that feeling for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Once he had plugged it in by saying to me like, yo, I'm about to replace these 2 mics, because like I said, he had got more into production and he started to learn what equipment was, you know, good, better, best. Okay. So he just worked his way up to the one that he like truly needed. Yeah. So when he was like, yeah, I'm about to replace these, I'm going to go ahead and you can have these older ones because my newer ones are already in the mail. And he was like, I'm also getting a new, I want to say, compensator. I think that's what that thing is called. It's a Scarlet. I know that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Scarlet. I can't really remember what its purpose is, but I know how to work it and I know what it does. So he was like, I can send you that. He was like, all you would need is like a mic stand of some sort. And so Amazon helped out with a desktop mic stand that also has like a pop filter. So me doing it myself, boom. And then he started helping me like learn about gain levels, when to add, when to decrease. And then that way we had quality control on both ends, just like that.
That's fire.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as now, when it comes to projects and stuff like that, now what we just heard Mamacita. Mm-hmm. So I mean, what influenced the Spanish realm? Like I saw you drop a little.
Oh, now see, all right, the beat for Mamacita. This is interesting because, like I said, you know, that's where we were, and where we are now is we're just full blown.
Who made that beat?
There's no more figuring it out. The person behind the beat is actually named Cam.
Okay.
Cam is about 15, 16, and plays football out in, I believe, Maryland. And we know Cam because Cam's older brother, Chris, does some of our lyric videos, like the one for Intro, Cody has one for Memory, and I think me and Chris are working on another one too for a different song.
Mm-hmm.
So Cody found out Chris had a brother, and his brother is a beat maker. And then Cam was like, "Hey, I have this beat. You know, I really like your guys' music. I'm kind of a fan."
So okay, so you reached out to y'all,
right?
okay.
And he was like, "You know, I just want you to hear what I got." And so he sent us Mamacita's beat, but it wasn't labeled anything.
Okay.
And so Cody sent it to me, and he was like, "Yo, what do you think about this? I think this kid has super potential to only be this young, and is just like, you know, fumbling around with making beats."
Mm-hmm.
Because he even told us that his main drive is football. Like, he
Okay.
just does this for fun. And so we're like, wow, like, for this to be for fun, that's a very good beat. Like, that beat, like, we did words on it, but it's just that the beat itself also is a part of the song. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So for him to be that young and really not even have any background in doing that, he just does it just out of his heart.
See, well, and hold on, that's one thing too, though. Like having multiple different lanes,
Mm-hmm.
like as
Yeah.
far as because like you do the digital graphics,
Mm-hmm.
beats, rapping, you know, producing, and that's just one thing I believe when it comes to like what you said with him playing his main focus being football. That's actually pretty interesting because that's like a full-time thing. Like, and real quick, since we're on the topic of football, and I don't mean to go into a turn, but shout out to my cousin Justice because he just signed with the actual Tennessee Titans.
That's what's up.
As of Sunday. So, yo, shout out, or as of Saturday. Shout out to my mans. I'm proud of you, love you, but also football is a full-time thing. So it's like when you do find that and it gets that type of clarity as far as that actual beat, that's phenomenal. Like you said,
Right.
that's phenomenal.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, to have him like that,
That's
you know.
dope.
Yeah, and I know that Cody got emailed another one. He had just, cause we got a group chat with him, and he was like, "I emailed Cody a beat. I haven't got a chance to hear it yet, and I don't even think he's even looked at it yet, because we have like other songs that are pending. Like Mamacita is one of the ones that's completely done. It's another one that's completely done called Don't Fall in Love, and there's, I believe, 2 loading that we're waiting for, like, the features to put their pieces on, basically.
I got you. Okay. And you said you were working with an Australian feature, right?
Yeah,
Y'all both
yeah.
were?
That one is all the way done. They're actually finishing their end of the mixtape because it's going to be like a collection of songs, and I'm just one of the features, a part of that collection. Right.
Dope.
So I'm waiting for them to finish up their end. Like, his name is Darcy Richmond. He, like, we message each other on Instagram and everything. We, like, you know, he don't, like, just, like, ghost it.
Yeah.
He keeps in touch, you know. I check up on him, he check up on me. And, yeah, you know, we just communicate. And he always lets me know, like, updates here and there, so.
That's fire. That's fire. Now, I mean, when it comes to, as far as, like, a group, because, I mean, y'all are definitely a group. A couple of things, like, how does it feel as far as when it comes to between compromise? Like, how do you guys deal with that within the realm of the group? I mean, it seems pretty easy from what I've seen you two interact. You know
yeah, because, like, all right, so.
It's a very good chemistry for 2 people who met on Xbox Live.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the artist side of it is just a group, yeah, with me and East. But when it comes down to, like, the, what I want to say, like, the behind the scenes, the ins and outs, that's not just me and East.
Okay.
It would be REP. And REP is where we got, like, Dre, we got Omni, we got Jovan. Jovan is the promoter.
Mm-hmm.
So that group is kind of like our judges panel. You know what I mean? So me and Issa always kind of like started. We always put it together. Mm-hmm. But when we're in the group helps us kind of weigh it down. You know, like if it's something that me and him are both kind of like one-sided on, then we can just say, hey, let's send it to them just to make sure that, like, we're not too in love with it or too against it. You know what I mean? Like, we always try to, like, incorporate those other opinions. And then, of course, we both have friends on our sides that we'll just, like, send as a tester because we know that they'll give real opinions, you know. But for the core of it, yeah, it's us two and then RAP. when it's just us two, it's usually not that hard because the stuff that we like is really similar. Like it's not that far off.
Okay.
We like sometimes we differentiate. He's more like Juice World. I'm more like I don't know. I'm more like a Young and May, Polo G, Chance the Rapper. Like I
Roddy
like
mix.
that's what I'm saying. Like I like the not the outcast, but the outcast. You know what I'm
I
saying?
get
Like
you.
there's people that are super mainstream and super radio heavy, and then there's those artists that we all love, but we know they don't get that much spotlight as they should. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I think that's the category where I am. Like I'm over there. I'm over there doing something. I like being over there. But that's why I'm like those artists are so phenomenal that they can compliment anyone. That's why I'm like even though he's a Juice World, it doesn't take away from the combo. You know what I mean? We always
Kinda
just find a
adds
way
to
to
it, you would
combo.
say?
Right.
It would just, okay.
Like Mamacita, for instance. When I heard Mamacita, I automatically said, "Oh, yo, I got a chorus for that. I can feel that." And he
Okay.
was like, "All right, yeah, go ahead." He'll send a beat and be like, "Yo, I already got an idea for this. I already got a chorus for this. Like, are you down to jump on it?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm always down to get on it." Like, even if it's difficult, if he asking me, I know it's because he wants it to be fire. Like, if he comes straight to me with a beat, he wanted to hit. And that's why he's asking me to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he can do a lot of things by himself, and he know he can. But certain beats, he'll just legit bring to me and be like, "Yo, you
What
trying to
you
hop
think?
on this?"
Yeah.
Yeah, like, "Yo, you trying to get a piece?" Like, and that's why I'm like, we usually don't have too much of, like, headbutting. Even with Mamacita was one where we did kind of go back and forth a little bit because if you listen to the track all the way through, I do a certain cadence. I do a certain little tempo. I always switch up. I
Okay,
always do
yeah.
that in my songs.
Yeah.
And then he come in, but I rode the ups and he rode the downs, and he did a DMV flow, which is kind of like offbeat but not offbeat. And so then, like, I don't really listen to that kind of music. Like, I'll be like, listen, like, more power to you if you're a fan.
Yeah.
But it's just really not for me. And so when he did it, I was like, ooh. It just was, like, hurting my ears at first. And he was like, no, please. Like, I'm telling you, you gotta just, like, let it grow on you. And yeah, over time, especially once we got to the completion of the song, because mind you, we hear it raw, and then it elevates from there. So hearing it raw and then seeing it grow into this orchestra is like, that's the best part. That's why I was like, this one was one where we like bumped but didn't bump. It was just more of, that's just not my style to listen to. That's all.
I get that.
But it
for sure.
fits. Yeah, it fits.
I definitely dig it. Now, I mean, how's your mental, man? How's like, you got, you moved back to the Berg, you got a new job. So what's going on? How you taking care of the mental day to day?
I've just been chilling. Like, I mean, Harrisburg, it's something going on, but it's not like too much going on. So I just been kind of like networking it out. Like, wherever I'm at, I'm just always trying to see who's around, like, who's doing what, like, who's the owner, who's the person that's the DJ, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always just, like, look around the room. I'm just trying to, like, read the room whenever I get into events out here. Like, if it's like the show I got
BK
at
business
S&D's. Me and Cody literally just was talking about, because for a while now we wanted to do these things called, now listen to this, they're QR business cards.
I've heard of them.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they have a QR code that you can program through the website.
Yeah.
And that QR code, when the person has it, can take them anywhere you want it to. So it can be straight to Instagram, straight to your number one song, straight to your album, straight to iTunes.
Word.
Like, it doesn't matter. You program it. And everyone's phone nowadays, you can just open the camera, aim it, and then your phone takes you there just like that. So we were talking about doing QR business cards, and then that's how we can just like network even faster. Like, we were literally just talking about that. But yeah, I was at the event for Micah Parsons. Shout out Micah Parsons. He just got signed by the Dallas Cowboys.
Berg in the
First
building.
round, 12th pick. And he's a linebacker out of Penn State. And my family is cool with his family and his dad and everything, and they invited us to come down to the party at S&D's.
I saw that.
So come to find out, my friend, shout out Big Steve. Big Steve is security at S&D's, and we went to high school together.
He sounds like a dude who would do security.
Yo, he is big, yo. He's big. He's Big Steve, man. And I'm like, yo, what's up? And he's like, yo, boom, boom, boom. And then I see Big Mike the Hype Man. Shout out Big Mike the Hype Man. Everybody in Harrisburg knows him. We went to high school together with Big Steve. So I'm like, yo. And he's like, yo. So then we all get to talking. Big Steve is like, yo, check out that guy back there. He's the main, like, DJ for if you want to, like, perform here. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, bet. So I go over to him. We get to networking. I actually sent him Pretend on Instagram, and I'm like, go ahead and listen to it. If it's bad, it's bad. Like, we can just chop that right here. And I'm like, listen, like, we can chop it right here. If you like turn the song on, you like, yo, this is garbage. Like, we can just not even, move this conversation any further. Mm-hmm. So he's like, okay, bet. So then he go right to his Instagram, boom, he start listening. And so, just like most people, like, it's not bragging, people that are listening, it's not bragging. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is just really...
They actually
like,
follow me.
That's what I'm saying. Like people literally call us and tell us, yo, I like this song. And it can be like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, yo. Like, it can be like the hardest person in your family. Like that one uncle at the cookout that's like 55 and still drug dealing, yo. He's going to like the song. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all something.
And he's going to say, yo, I fuck with the song.
It's some freaky Halloween Town magic about Pretend, yo. Like, it makes everybody melt. And I mean, we definitely love it. Don't get it wrong. It's just that we wish we knew a little bit more of why. Like, what is the magnetism about? Like you know what I'm saying? Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, what is
Okay, hold on, because there's been a lot of songs that just played through my mind. How does that one go? How does that one go?
And she says she never liked me, but she wanna be my wifey. I wear diamonds in my whitey, girl, ain't no need to pretend.
I think it has to. It's definitely that chorus.
That's what I'm saying.
For me,
like,
it's like, yo, that shit. It's just like, and then the way y'all switch in between, it's just like, yo, that's a hit right there.
Like that, but that's what everybody said. Like, people don't even know. Pretend was literally spinning in Ithaca College. Shout out Ithaca College Radio. I think it's like WIC 8. Don't quote me though. But Ithaca College Radio, they actually, like, I was just going through random free colleges and I was just sending out, different songs. It was mostly Pretend and one other thing. And Ithaca College jumped right on it and was like, yo,
get that out there.
Right, like, I was just randomly boom, boom, boom. And the idea actually came from Kravis. Shout out Kravis. That's my guy. Little guy, big heart. You already know. So he was like, y'all should start. Like, I told him about the idea of attacking the colleges. And he's like, yo, that's perfect. Like, that's free radio play. That's free airway. And he's like, that's the perfect way to, like, get it, especially as, like, a tester. And I'm like, bet. So Ithaca was like, yo, that song Pretend, we need it. Like,
we need it.
Right. And so they spun it for like 2 months. Like, I even had posted on Instagram, because they had emailed me the link on SoundCloud to the rotation it was in. Okay. And they were spinning it. Like, it was like the 4th song in line. Like, it was fresh. I'm like, wow, like, it's something about that one that really, like, it gets him every time. So he started listening to it, and he's like, you could do that, like, cause some people, when they hear a song on their phone or on Apple, you gonna automatically assume that there's some type of there's gonna be some type of auto tune helping you or some type of program helping you.
Yeah.
But no, because I won't drop the ball. And he was like, you can do that for real? I was like, yeah, I can do that for real.
Yeah, because I remember you sent me a snap and you were actually using your voice.
Right.
And it's just like, yo, like you can actually get that.
That's what I'm saying. Like when I be singing in a song, yeah, like me and him like using auto-tune just to use auto-tune. Like sometimes it just makes it like blend well with the beats. Because a lot of these beats, what people don't understand is a lot of these beats are made electronically. Like I have friends that make beats that are in our circle, and when they're making beats, it's like half computer, half instrument. Yeah. So you got to think about the compatibility when you're mixing and mastering. Auto-tune just kind of like puts a butter on it. You know what I mean? It's not like some people do drown themselves in auto-tune, and like that's the one that kind of like gets your ear kind of like Yeah. But when you actually can do it and then you just like lay that butter over top of it, that's when it just creates like smooth listening. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
It's like a smooth flow of the ocean.
Right. Much. That's really how T-Pain was able to like ride that wave for so long.
Ooh, I'ma take you home with me. I got money in the bank. Yo, I'm glad. Shawty, what you think about that?
I'm glad y'all can hear this because he's gonna try to edit that out later. Like he ain't do that. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. I'm like, yeah, man, because he know that ain't how he sound. He know T-Pain never sound like that. I was lost on what song he was singing.
I can put you in the mansion somewhere in West Kent, yo.
You. Yeah. Right. Yo, like, and this is the same man that we still waiting on to hop on the microphone. Like,
yo, listen, like I'm gonna hit should I hit him with a hold on, time, story time. So I told you I was watching videos with my mom, right? My mom, my sister. So like there was I think it was I want to say it was 98. Right. And we had a family reunion. So I found out that the hotel that we stayed at was the Westin. Yo, we stayed at the Westin, and I didn't even know we was on the West End back then. Yo,
get the fuck out of here.
Yo, we was in the West End. Yo, we was in the West End, and we didn't even know back then. Yo, I'm telling you, when that lemon pepper freestyle come, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Like, yo,
but
hit you with the 40s and the. Ooh.
Since he had liked that joint, that's when it came out that they do shows there. Like I didn't even know that S&D's was doing shows. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Definitely. And wait a minute, I was at S&D's 2 months ago.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm in there.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's right there. It's
literally right there.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I'm like, y'all do shows? Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah. Matter of fact, and this is on a Thursday. He go, matter of fact, I got a show this Monday. I think I got 1 slot left. I need you to do it. You gonna do it? I'm like, yeah. I'm like,
I was like, yeah.
I'm not doing nothing else,
No, I ain't got shit else.
I'm gonna be off of work by then, so
Exactly. I'll just
and it was just like, dang, if that song really was garbage, like you gotta really think about it. If that song really was garbage, that means he probably wouldn't have even said anything. Like before listening to the song, he ain't mentioned nothing about. Like I'm like, dang, like Pretend must really be a head turner. Like it must really be something that crazy.
I think that one's definitely gonna be that's the pusher right there. And then I think once Mamacita comes out, like that's gonna be
and that's what we were saying.
That's gonna be the next one.
He was even saying that too. He was saying that too.
One thing I did want to ask you, since music, life, they both are the same thing. And recently we lost, a couple of legends.
Right. Yeah.
Rest in peace DMX. Rest in peace Shock G. Rest in peace
Black Rob. Yeah.
But how do you, as far as like when it comes to one's legacy, and I was scrolling through, the feeds of Twitter, and some people were like bashing newer fans for going in and listening to X, and it was just like, well, essentially, wouldn't you want that to happen? Because like they were like, oh, y'all are scrubs, like y'all ain't fans, boom, boom. And it's like, I believe you can become a fan after one's death. I mean, if you're playing their music, but like that's how I became a fan of Nip that way.
Right.
So how do you feel about people listening to post?
I feel like sometimes after the people die, like the music floods a lot of platforms in a different way. Like it starts to really show, it starts to really pop up, and that way, people that weren't getting a chance to hear it before didn't get a chance to.
Exactly.
Like you know what I mean? Like, and then once you hear a little bit, you're like, okay, you know, that right there, that one wasn't really my favorite, but I really like what he was saying or she was saying, and I want to see what else she got or he got.
Yeah.
And I think that's how people get there.
And see, my thing about it was, and here's where I was when I found out when the whole Nip situation went down, like, and I was trying to find like a vibe, you know, like that good Cali West Coast vibe, and so I'm like, all right, so I heard Nip pass, and it was, unexpected, as most, deaths are, in some circumstances. But, I went back, and I think the first song I heard was Real Nigga Moves with him and Dom Kennedy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I was kind of just in a shock, because I was like, what? Like, Nip had the sound that I was looking for the entire time. Like,
Nip was cold, man.
It was just like, fam. And that's where it's like, and me personally, I believe, and kind of agreeing with what you said, like the generation, of course, before us can be like, oh, well, I want to hear more of what they had, and then it could be a sound for them to, then influence. And of course, that's what the music was created for. I'm not dumb, but I'm just saying, like, I think when the other, those core fans try and jump on the newer fans for like, oh, well, you weren't there from the beginning, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, nah, fam, like, yo, welcome.
Right, yeah,
welcome
to
the fandom. Like, anybody who's a fan of Machine Gun Kelly, like, go back to Black Flag. You won't experience that moment, like that countdown like I did, but I can tell you about it, and you can go back and listen to those things. So it's like, I definitely am one of, like I said, agree with, pushing that music forward and not bashing those newer fans.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it should just be more of like a acceptance type of thing.
Yeah, especially within that, the world is getting crazy. Did you hear what's going on in India? Prayers, and it's crazy, man.
Yeah,
people sharing hospital beds.
It's a lot going on everywhere, and the thing is, that's why I said in the beginning that like we already doing the damn thing. Like,
facts.
Ain't really much you can do. So that's why I'm like, it's little battles happening everywhere, and it's so crazy because this is how stuff like like all the movies and stuff you see. This is how that stuff be going down. Like,
exactly.
This is exactly how it be in the movies. And that's why I just be in the house, man. Because I'm like,
it's getting too crazy out here. And that's literally my plan for the entire summer. Like, I'm in the crib. Like, you call me, I'm in. Unless it's like you're right around the corner and I ain't got to travel far. I'm really not trying to be out in the street.
Nope.
Like, this summer might end up just being another...
Just chilling. Yeah, it's chilling, man.
Unless you try and go on some hikes with me, you feel me? Get out there in that nature.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the only thing we be doing is like doing the stuff we gotta do for our projects. I go to work, and then we travel occasionally to catch these shows, and that's really about it.
What kind of shows? How many? I mean, you said you got the one at S&D's, and then you said you got a couple months other.
Yeah, so like starting the year off, we did the show in Philly, radio interview in Philly. Then we did the show in Baltimore with the technically Essex, and then a photo shoot in Baltimore. Then I gotta do S&D's this Monday. I'm in talks right now with one of the big promoters here in Harrisburg, and I'm waiting to hear when that show is going to be, because that could end up being sometime soon since I live here now. And then on top of that one, in June 25th, we are both going to Houston, Texas, where you're from, and we're doing a show.
Going where?
Houston, Texas.
You're going where?
I told you.
I'm sorry, where?
We're going out that joint, man.
Yo, you going out to Houston? Where at?
Yeah. Well, it's actually a part of the tour for hip hop since 1987. Shout out hip hop since 1987. Real cool people.
Okay.
Like every time I DM, they're real chill. We talk all the time. So
that's fine.
Definitely shout out to them. They're doing a whole tour through Texas, and we're jumping in at the final stop. I feel like the final stop is always like the kaboom. So, like, you know what I mean? Especially being in Houston, I'm like, yeah, that's the best date to grab.
Oh my God, yo, you're gonna get so much love.
That's what I'm saying. We're gonna be in Houston, and then
do you know what exactly? Like, you know the venue you're
No,
No,
they ain't they ain't even put the flyers out yet. I literally just talked to them like 2 days ago, and I was like, "Yo, the flyers ready?" They like, "Yep, we gonna have the flyers ready this week." So boom, I'm like, "Yeah."
That's fire, yo. You going to that? Hey, yo, bring me back some Whataburger while you at it.
Yeah, and then in August, shout out Krabbin, shout out CME Morning Show, shout out all on Network 8, Chef Work 8, they having a CME weekend down in Miami. He was saying something like the end of August. So we definitely gonna see. They're doing one in May right now that's about to go down in like a week or two for them to have like the same kind of workaround. Couple shows in Baltimore, hit up Miami 2 days, come back, couple shows in Baltimore. So we told them if they do that same layout for August, we'll jump in on that and meet them down Miami and kick it. I think I had told you about the Miami trip because that's gonna be kind of like all the people in that REP group. We all going together, and it's gonna be like a celebration for what we got going on.
That's a vibe. But nah, yo, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
We about to be out here moving and grinding. You feel me? Yep. Hit me on the socials. Hit me on Twitter, Johnny Brown 971.
For sure.
Hit me on Instagram, Johnny _the THA Joker. And I just be around town and throwing it down. You feel me? See that 16's in the tuck. We about to keep it a buck. Ooh. Wow. I'm too hot. You can't touch. Ooh. I'm about to bring it back. Woo. Where can we hit you on the socials?
Catch me on Instagram at _real_LITUATION Lituation _ Same thing with Facebook. Xbox is Real Lituation. Twitter is Real Lituation.
Oh yeah, hit me up on PlayStation Network. Bronze Kneecap, Bronze NEECAP 1471. Hit me on the Bronze Kneecap.